All right, so I'm gonna change the starter on a 2011 Lincoln MKX. So the first thing we're gonna do is remove this air box here. You gotta remove your mass airflow sensor clip. There's a little red clip that you pull back and then you pull it out. And then you gotta remove this clip under the air box. So I was having problem with this clip. So another thing you can do is from your valve cover, there's another clip. You can just remove it from there. Next, you have this hose right here. Just pull that out, it has no clip. And then we remove this hose from the throttle body. I think that's an 8 mil. And we have two clips right here. Get this hose out, pull it right out. Remove our air filter. This might be a great time to replace that. Now there's a bolt right here. You don't have to remove it, but it makes it a lot easier. Now we take off these two bolts up here. From there, we just shimmy it out and pull it up. So I thought there was another bolt or something in there, but it would just pop right out. So there's our starter right there. So obviously we can't get to it yet, so we're gonna have to remove the battery. Take our battery out. Then we have this lock right here. Don't forget to remove that. Make sure you take note of the way that comes out, that little wedge to put it back in. Remove our battery. Now we gotta remove our battery tray. There are two screws here, one in the tray and one bolted onto the body. So if you've never taken this tray out, it might feel like there's another bolt in there, but there's not. It's only two bolts holding it. Take this time to clean all this up. There's our starter right there, and as you can see, we still can't get to it yet. So we're gonna have to remove two clips here, 1 and 2. So this first clip here, it kind of doesn't even have a clip on it. It's just, you'll see in a second, it just kind of pops up. It doesn't have a lock or anything. It just pops up, and I'm using a trim tool to take that off. There really is no special way to take this off. It kind of just pops up. Just be very careful with all these plastics. The second one is a little bit more difficult. Easy, but you're gonna want to take your time. You don't want to break anything. So I'm taking two flat heads here. One to kind of pry those little tabs open and another one to kind of pull it up. I'll show you what those tabs look like in a minute. Again, you want to go kind of slow here because you don't want to break any of these plastics. I'm showing you this in real time because I want to show you how long it actually takes to remove this. See, it has these two little tabs that go into the groove that you're gonna have to pull back and up. All right, so now that we got that out the way, my first plan was to remove this hose right here. It really didn't want to budge, and I'm kind of glad it didn't because I would have had a whole bunch of coolant leaking everywhere. So there's two connections that we need to take off for the starter. One at the very top and one right next to it. The one at the very bottom, we don't need to worry about. So there's two bolts connecting the starter, and I was trying to bypass removing these two hoses right here because they're in the way of getting that one bolt out. After a few minutes of trying different extensions and adapters, I remembered I had this long extension and it worked perfectly. And this is the first time I actually used this. So there's that first bolt. All right, so here's a tricky one. There is a little clip connected to the second bolt that we're gonna have to remove. That clip is holding the wiring harness in place, so we wanna make sure that we don't break that when we take it off. It was a little tricky to get to, but with some patience, it finally came off. So now it's time to get to that second bolt. Threw a little bit of air in there to clear out the area because it was dusty. There was some rust around it, and I didn't want any dirt or debris or rust to get into that flywheel. So this was another challenge of getting the starter out without removing the hoses. So what you're gonna have to do is turn the starter counterclockwise to like around the 10 or 11 o'clock position, and that was the only way I was able to remove it. Putting the new one in, the same thing. You're gonna have to put it in at the 10 or 11 o'clock position, move it back to where it goes, and bolt everything back up. And that's it, the starter's in. Time to put everything back in reverse order.